Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 8 of season 3 of Bobble Pod. In this episode, we're doing the Mr. Bobble news roundup in digital marketing, as we always do. We're going to be doing these frequently in between other episodes where we have guests or where we talk about specific topics and elements. And it gives us opportunities to go back to some questions and give the latest updates and news of what's going on in the world of digital marketing. Before I begin, as always, please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe us across our main podcast streaming platforms. And if you watch on YouTube, a bit hello to everyone on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell so you know when the next episode of podcast comes out. So, the news roundup. The first thing I would like to discuss very quickly is, from an SEO perspective, there was a Google update on the 25th of May. Now, this update is like the first element of a wider update that's coming out in 6 months' time. If you're working or you're a client and you're doing SEO, or you're an agency and you've got an SEO department and you're having difficult conversations with clients about how their rankings are dropping off, but you haven't done anything wrong, and you're seeing a lot of SERP features, which is the search engine results page. SERP stands for search engine results page. In terms of issues with that, and basically speed changes as well in terms of how your website's performing. A lot of the impact is happening with that. Unfortunately, all the updates that come from Google are cryptic because they don't want anyone to hack or hack the algorithm and find ways around in terms of proving their results. It only came out on May 25th. We're on June. This recording is happening on June the 14th. Very transparent, just so you know. So we have around about 3 weeks worth of information on it. 3 weeks worth of data, insights, forums, other agency people, blogs, articles. And to really help, if you go on our website right now, bobbledigital.com, go to the blog page. It is what will be at this time the second blog where it's called, Google May 2022 SEO update. I would highly encourage you all to have a full in-depth read of that. That actually has some good links to the updates and elements that we've highlighted and hyperlinked on the content. It gives a good breakdown. But the key element and the biggest element it's in fact impacting is the SERPs. The main issue to be aware of is that it's those search engine results page. Some users are reporting, changes in as little as 24 hours since the update came out in terms of the impact it's having. With Google, as I mentioned, keeping their algorithm systems to themselves, there's not much you can do to actually alter your new SERP result. That said, the core update and the purpose of the core update is to create a better user experience. Consider all these big updates that Google does is, in Google's eye, updates to support a better user experience for their customers. In reality, they don't really care about you as an individual, as a company, as an agency, as an SEO expert. What they care about is someone who goes onto Google and the experience they have when they're using the Google search product. And in this instance, the organic search results that come through from it. So if your rankings fall significantly, it's a sign that you need to make further improvements before the next update, which expended, like I said, we're expecting at the end of the year. Or when I mean key updates, these are the key things you can do is, first of all, go back, always at every update, go back and check your basics. Your basics of SEO, everything from a technical, content, structure, titles, H1, H2, check your core web vitals, make sure you've got good quality content, look at how your keywords rank and the positions they rank for that particular keyword, look at your Google Analytics elements in terms of time spent, bounce rates from specific pages from the services you offer. Go back and start doing the basics of SEO, improving your Google My Business, reviewing that, making sure that's up to date, making sure your basics on your website in terms of information you have is there. Go away and do what I call the basics. Check your search console, make sure your sitemaps are submitted, all those elements and above, essentially. Next, it's making improvements to the content that you have on your site. So essentially, you're going to be like, well, I'm doing that anyway. So what I'm saying is continue doing what you're doing, but start putting more emphasis and go back maybe a couple of steps and make sure you're thorough with your actions and your analysis that you've done on the accounts. That's the only way to kind of get through this. We believe naturally those people that were, had good cert feature results, will naturally see them come back. We're seeing rankings drop off. We've seen some of our own cert features drop off significantly. But again, it's nothing because we recently improved our Core Web Vitals since we moved over to a WordPress website 2 months ago. Our desktop, Core Web Vitals score was 99. Our mobile was now up to 85. So we've only got a few more improvements which we're aware of, which are launching, this month to improve that and get that over 90. So we're ticking all the boxes. So that's all you can do. Do all the basics, tick all the boxes, and make sure you're providing a good user experience on your website, as well as with what information they're searching for and the relevancy of the keywords. That's probably one element I'd focus on, is the relevancy of the content against the keyword you're ranking for, which will provide a better user experience overall. Other than that, go to our website, look at the blog, see what you think, and come back with any questions. If you work in SEO, if you're a client, if you're a company or a business or you're an agency and you're having features and you have any updates to share, or you have any questions, or you highlight something, reach out, ask me on LinkedIn, reach out, use the hashtag Mr. Bobble or hashtag Ask Bobble, or just at us at Bobble Digital across Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. Or just engage with us on the YouTube video and leave a comment, and we will read them and we will get back and we will comment and we will add it into one of the future episodes and future news rounds up in terms of questions that we have. The next element I want to talk about in terms of like giving you guys some news and updates in terms of what's going on in the marketplace is that some of you will already know in the industry that smart shopping campaigns are ending. Performance max campaigns have pretty much already taken over. This month in June in particular, what we've noticed as an agency is a reduction in performance from smart shopping campaigns and shopping campaigns in general. We've seen a significant improvement in performance max campaigns. That's not just for our e-commerce clients, that's just for some of our clients that want people to book or get a quote on the platform. The campaign seems to be doing extremely well. Smart shopping campaigns come to an end in September. So if you're not moving your budgets out and putting them into performance max campaigns, you need to do it now. Same with discovery ads. It's there to replace all that. Think of it this way. Google's top engineers and the main team will be on the new products and services. They'll be giving their B-level support to what you think is working right now. So don't be surprised when it comes to September and you're still relying on smart shopping campaigns. You basically need to stop spending money on them literally at the end of this month, at the end of next month. So we, with our clients, know that we're going to stop smart shopping campaigns by the end of July, and we're already running, and most of the budget is running on performance max campaigns and other strategies we're doing. And we know that we're geared up for this update and when that comes in and when that gets impacted for businesses overall. Now, one of the most recent updates was the new customer acquisition goal and updates that come from Google. Sometimes if you go into the platform, you will notice that when you look at conversion actions, every single conversion action that you have set up, whether you're tracking it or not, comes up on the ad account. Now, that's just part of a recent update come from Google Ads, something just be aware of, but it will only show the conversions you are tracking, which can be a bit frustrating because you're going to have to scroll down quite a lot because you want to see performance at keyword, ad group, text ad level, at conversion action level, or revenue level. And unfortunately, you're having to scroll for eons to kind of see the action and what you have and summarize it. So I don't think it's a great update, but ultimately it's just a new view that Google's offering. Again, with this, performance max features, there's a blog on our website. So by the time you actually get this, there's a blog which came out in June, which is called Latest Google Performance Max Features Go Live. In that, we break down everything around the new customer acquisition goals, the consumer interest insights, the one-click upgrade tool, and basically how to use Performance Max to benefit your business. So we've done a fully in-depth blog post for you to kind of read that, get some value out of that. But Performance Max launched back in November 2021. So they've been around. We only started really playing with them at the start of Q2. We started doing a lot of experimenting. We did our research analysis. We waited for some insights from the industry in terms of how it was going to work. On its release, surprisingly, Google stated that automation is a solution businesses and agencies are using to stay ahead of the ongoing shifts in consumer demands. I take issue with that, especially if you watch the episode that came out on June the 14th when we record this about, tackling Google in a digital age, part 1 and then part 2 the week after. Yes, there's automation needed from agencies, businesses, your internal departments, everything you do. You need to have stuff automated. Everything can't be manual. But your data analysis should be automated. Not what you do within platforms should be automated. You should have as much control as possible. And this Performance Max tool is just another automation tool, which basically brings in all the best features of the Google marketing platform, puts it into one ad. So you're on YouTube, you're on search, you're on the search network, you're on the display network, you're on everything essentially. Yes, it delivers good results because the AI is working quite well, but I feel like it's way too automated in terms of what we can add value to it. There's going to be other features that come out, and we talk about these in the blog post, but right now, I kind of disagree with that in terms of like automation solution business agents are using to stay ahead of ongoing shifts. Well, yes, we use automation, but we don't use automation where we would prefer to give Google full control over what it does in the platform and with clients' budgets, because Google sometimes thinks it knows best, but it doesn't, because it doesn't consider a lot of the different industries, a lot of the different sectors, the niche products and services out there. But I'm honest, I'm going to be truthful. We have seen some very, very great results from the Performance Max campaigns in terms of what we've done. So it's working. I'd be interested to learn more about it. But, we're still like 3 months in, and all our clients now are using Performance Max campaigns. We're in a position from the end of July to move people off. Stuff like smart shopping platforms are going to get discontinued. So if you're still using smart shopping campaigns, start moving over. You want some advice, you want to know how, read our blog post. If you want to know more about Performance Max campaigns, read our blog post. If you have any question queries, again, on the YouTube, put questions down, queries, we'll pick them up. We'll do a more in-depth episode about Performance Max campaigns. One thing I want to do, and to help the listeners and the viewers, is once we get some more results and data, and when it switches off by September, is do an actual episode, but bring some stats and results from some of our clients, and kind of like maybe do almost like a visual representation of, what tactics and stuff you can do. I think you might like that and value that. So we'll have that on the cards for you. And whilst we've still got a bit of time, I have had a question come back on, on the space. And this question comes from Joe. And the question is, I always do some LinkedIn posts. So this is why I say follow me on LinkedIn, because I always put questions out there in preparation for these podcasts that I do, in terms of what do people want to know, specifically for the Bobble News Roundup, because I will ask specific questions and do specific polls, get people's opinions and see what they do. Some people will come out to me and message me directly, and it's a better way for me to be able to engage with you directly. You guys can then, get involved in the polls and get your opinions, and I can share the stats on here. So one of the questions that came back from, and thank you, Joe, for this one, is what is the benefit of working with freelance over agency? Now, if you're listening to this podcast and you've listened to episodes 5 and 6, it was very agency focused, very client focused. We had Gareth Healy as our special guest, and I knew Gareth was coming on, so I put these questions out there and I got some good responses. But the best one was like, what was the benefit of working with freelance over agency? So if you're a client and you're looking for services, let's say like a video services, Josh is behind the camera. So I'm going to use you, Josh, as an example. Josh, you can be our Joe. We'll just pretend there's an SH at the end of it. So you are a freelancer, Josh, and